Hello everybody and welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Raumdeuter role at Football Manager, and let's get started with an overview of the role. The Raumdeuter is a player role that is used on the wings in the advanced position. Their playstyle is characterized by the ability to find and exploit open space in the defense. High mental attributes are needed for this role, as they look to take advantage of any weaknesses. In addition to playing in open space, they will also make late runs into the box. The space they find, which is often out wide, means defenders have a choice. Do they stay in their defensive shape and leave the Raumdeuter space to exploit, or do they close him down and risk leaving gaps in their defense? Here we are with the ball in the midfield, having just gained possession. The midfielder progresses the ball and passes it to the Raumdeuter. Two defenders try to close him down, and then a third, which leaves space for the striker. The key part about this role is they are concerned with finding open space, which means you'll see them make forward runs, but other times they seem to drift aimlessly around when you have possession. And because of this, you're going to need a strong, balanced tactic around the Raumdeuter because he's going to be completely separated from the team, but this is by design. We start this clip with my team in possession of the ball at the bottom of the screen. These are my 9 outfield players here in purple. And my Raumdeuter is way at the top, separated from everyone else. As we progress into the attacking midfield, they have 6 defenders trying to mark my attackers. My Raumdeuter is able to exploit the open space and get the assist. And here's an example of their forward approach. We work the ball around the box. The Raumdeuter waits until the last possible second to attack the open space. In the next section, we'll talk about the Raumdeuter and some of the differences between the other winger roles. What separates the Raumdeuter from other winger roles, especially playmakers, is that he doesn't necessarily want the ball, he wants to find open space. So let's talk about what separates the Raumdeuter from another attacking position that is difficult to pin down, the trequartista. Let's start with what they both have in common. The first is that they will both roam from their position, using movement that's outside of your tactical instruction. Second is that they are not plug-and-play roles, meaning special consideration is needed when using them in your tactic. And third, they are both only available on the attack duty, meaning they can create chances for teammates and score goals for themselves. The main difference between the two is that the trequartista is a designated playmaker, and in Football Manager terms, this means that they are a focus role. Teammates will pass him the ball more often. And because of this, the trequartista will follow the ball to make himself available for the pass, where the Raumdeuter will do the opposite. He will separate himself from the team to exploit space. This is an example of that. And right now, our goalie has the ball, and this is our trequartista. First off, we should note how centrally he is positioned, even though his starting position is a right winger. As we move the ball, watch how the trequartista tracks with the rest of his teammates, making himself available for the pass, even moving into the center and pushing ahead of our striker. He gets the pass and gets a shot away. On the other hand, this is our Raumdeuter. Right now our center back has the ball and we begin our possession. The Raumdeuter is very much not tracking with the ball. He is staying out wide, taking advantage of the space that's out there. As the play is shifted to his side, he looks for an opening and then creates a chance for his teammate. The trequartista is a designated playmaker, yes, but they are both highly creative roles. It's just that the Raumdeuter does it by exploiting open space first and then attacking the defense. For example, if you have a top-class player, like maybe one they name a player role after in Football Manager, then you could get some truly exceptional goals. Here's Thomas Müller sitting out in space. Doesn't do much while we're passing it around. He gets the ball and makes one quick cut. And again, here we build out from the back. Thomas Müller is once again sitting in space out wide. In the next section, we'll talk about how to build a tactic around this role. One of the best ways I like to use the Raumdeuter in a tactic is to create overloads on the opposite side. By doing this, you'll see the Raumdeuter with almost the entire half of the field to himself. This is a clip of us in possession and my center back has the ball like usual. Almost our entire team is within the lines of the goal area, meaning we have overloaded that entire side. Now, we add in the Raumdeuter, who is by himself out wide. After 2 passes, the defense has closed down the ball, and the Raumdeuter takes advantage of all that space. Again, the Raumdeuter is not a plug-and-play role, and you will need to build your tactic around him. We're in the English Premier League and with Liverpool for our video today. We'll be using a 4-3-3, which is an excellent formation for using the Raumdeuter. He'll be on the right wing, but we're going to do something a little different and pretend he isn't playing and then build out the tactic. The point of doing this is we need to make a strong, balanced tactic, taking into account we're going to have an open space out on the wing. With only 9 outfield players, we still want to attack, and the strength of these 9 lies with our 2 flank players and our left central midfielder. The wing player has a few options, including a winger, an inside forward, and an inverted winger. I've used all 3 and have had success, but for this one, I'm going to use the inverted winger. Someone who will stay out wide and get in crosses, but can still cut inside and attack centrally. In the fullback position, I think either a wingback or a complete wingback. There'll be another threat for the flank, and you can get some nice interchange with whichever role you choose for that winger position. Choosing a left central midfielder, we want something attacking and creative. I love a Mezzala, but you could also try a central midfielder on attack or an advanced playmaker. I'm using a Mezzala to exploit that half space. With the striker, I've liked using something that pressures the backline, like an advanced forward or a poacher. But a more physical striker that drops deep can work too, like a deep line forward or a target forward. So if the left side is attack focused, on the other side we need to be more defense and support focused. With a right central midfielder, you could try a box-to-box midfielder, a central midfielder on support, or a ball-winning midfielder. A Carrilero will work as well. Those midfielders will all support play with more of an eye on defending. The defensive midfielder is important because they are going to be a key element of our defensive cover. I would use something on the defend duty, and specifically an anchor, a defensive midfielder, or a deep line playmaker, depending on your play style. Finally, the other fullback position. Any fullback role will work, but I like the inverted wingback to provide some more support for the midfield. We have roles focused on attack, we have roles providing support, and we have roles providing defensive cover. This means adding in the Raumdeuter is a luxury item. The tactical instruction uses a wide shape to give the Raumdeuter more room to work, and the slightly direct passing and slightly higher tempo gets the ball up to him faster. In addition, the high press keeps the Raumdeuter a little higher up the field. Let's do a highlight breakdown to see how this tactic works and why it's so important to build a formation around a Raumdeuter. We pick up the highlight with the opponent on the counterattack, with the ball on their left flank. As they get in their attacking midfield, this is our basic 4-3-3 defensive shape. This is the Raumdeuter up here ahead of the striker. This is why it's important to create a balanced tactic without the Raumdeuter in there, because he doesn't do much defensively. But this is the reason why. When we win the ball, he's already in space to start the counter. He dribbles towards the byline, and our overload on the opposite flank has left free runners and plenty of options. The ball is centered, our inverted winger gets the pass and converts the goal. As we watch the highlight again in full speed, pay attention to the Raumdeuter and how he doesn't track back defensively, but is the key part in our counterattack. We're going to look at a couple of players, and our first one will be Mo Salah at Liverpool. No surprise he has insane attributes, which include standout mental ones, like his anticipation, decisions, and off the ball. He has good complementary player traits, and we even saw a bit with the trait runs with ball often in that highlight breakdown. If you're looking to try something in the lower leagues, your results may vary when using this role. This is Grimsby Town in the English League 2, and the player we're going to look at is Harry Clifton. He's got solid ones, including anticipation, composure, and concentration, not to mention his work rate and stamina. Granted, he's only competent as an advanced winger, but you get the idea. Some good player traits would be gets forward whenever possible, gets into opposition area, and moves into channels. Some not so good ones would be dwells on ball, hugs line, and stays back at all times. And as we wrap up the video, if you have made it this far, thank you for watching. I wanted to remind you that I've set up a Patreon if you would like to go there and support the channel. There is also a free link there if you sign up to our Discord server where we're talking about Football Manager and tactics and any questions you would have. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.